Man, age 13 was it was a rough go. There was this weird girl at school, and I mean, like, I'm not one to put people in boxes, which she was an interesting human. I went over to her house one day because I was just like friendly. I was like friends with everybody, right? Like I didn't really think anything of it. And I remember being in well, I was on her bed, like just like sitting as you do, as kids chatting. I say kid because I was 13. And all of a sudden, like all her family was like in the living room doing family stuff, like whatever. And all of a sudden, she started like crawling towards me on the bed in like a really sexually charged way. I didn't know what that was because I was like so innocent and like not even in the mindset that like nobody told me it was an option to like girls. And it just like hadn't like clicked in and I hadn't been like activated, shall we say, in that way. But like when she started crawling towards me in that way, I started to feel what I discovered was turned on. It was so strange. And I was just like so confused and conflicted in my brain because I was like, wait, I'm only I'm only supposed to like boys. Like, what am I feeling right now? And then um not having anybody to talk to. Like it was weird because like my mom and my dad and I like we were always really close, but I didn't feel like it was something that I could talk to them about because I felt like there was just already so much like shame and tension and weirdness about any sort of sexual conversation. And so I just like nothing happened beyond that. Like we didn't kiss, nothing happened. I like left. I was like, I should go home. I should go home. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And and then I remember like 2 years passing, and that same girl, she got in a relationship with one of my friends at school. And and I didn't tell anybody the way I felt. And I mean, like, it was aware now that I thought girls were pretty in that way. And it wasn't something that I chose, it was just something that I felt. Because some of us choose to step into that realm, and some of us just are that. And then I remember one day my dad picked me up to take me up to Seattle because my parents had been divorced, right? Like he came to pick me up for the weekend or whatever. And we were driving through the Nisqually region. I remember exactly where we were on the road, what we were driving, like all the things. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna like ask dad about like what he thought about this relationship that was happening at school with my lesbian friends. And um well, one was a lesbian and one was bi. My friend was bi and the other one was a lesbian. And so I was like, hey, dad, like, what would you do if I was gay? And he like thought about it, like honestly, for a minute. And he was like, well, it would kind of be like if you had your leg cut off. I wouldn't love you any less. You just wouldn't be a whole person. Now I should have gotten an Academy Award for the performance I gave in that moment of just being kind of like, huh, okay, well, like, thanks for letting me know. And he just like didn't think anything about it, which is mind-boggling. Like, I had just been so boy crazy that he thought that like there was no chance that I was actually gay or bi or like whatever. And for decades, I tried to argue every possible angle of like why people can be on the LGBTQ plus spectrum. Like, and just the way he was raised. And I think there's probably some subconscious stuff because of like what happened with his dad and the bad things there that he just like radically pushed it away. But he looked at being gay as a perversion. That was really, really hard for me because my dad and I were super close to think that like this person that I loved and I respected and I valued so much that I wouldn't be a whole person in his eyes. That was just like devastating to me. And it was hard to be like, I always felt like an outlier. Like, I didn't feel like I was like anybody else, not just because of my sexual orientation being bisexual, but also just because I was just different, right? Like, I was a healer and I was like, I wanted to be all these things. Like, Like I wanted to be this cool combination of like James Bond, Indiana Jones, Sherlock Holmes, Laura Croft, Matlock, like um be like the super sexy figure of like a Bond girl, but with like high intellect and great weapon skills. Like I basically wanted to be a spy. And not having that was just like I didn't get to live like fully. And then I was like combined like that desire to be this thing, right? And get to do the training and all the stuff with like also feeling the super shy and like not having the guidance. Kind of like if I had somebody like the person I am now, like back then, sweet Jesus, like how radically different and empowered my life would have been. Like so much trauma could have been avoided. Hundreds of thousands of dollars would not have been lost. Like I just it's honestly a big part of the reason why I do the coaching that I do today to empower other people because I never want people to feel like I did. Like I literally had suicidal ideations every single day from age 13 to 26. Nobody had any idea how much I was struggling with the depression, despite like drawings that I was doing. They just didn't look. Nobody paid attention. Like I'm lucky that I'm as resilient as I am and how much I love my parents because I couldn't bring myself to be quite selfish enough to like kill myself and put my parents through that because my bond with my mom and my dad were so tight. But it was just really hard. It's hard when you don't feel like you get to be all of yourself. And especially when like such a core figure is like you're not a whole person. Like to navigate that without any support of a coach or a counselor or like anything and like any like older role model, um, it's hard. You know, it's just like our who we are attracted to is like such a small thing compared to the scope of who we are as humans. Like it still just blows my mind that we've put so much pressure on ourselves and we judge other people so much. It's like if you're religious, it's like that's between person and their God, like not you. Like let them be. Like give people the autonomy to have their own experience. They're not hurting anybody. Well, I mean, like ideally, some people might say they're hurting themselves, but that's a different kinds of conversation. Um, yeah, it was hard. It was hard. It took me such a long time. Like I've never been married. Like maybe if I would have gotten to explore that whole side of things, I could have like been married to an amazing woman for the last like 20 years and like I didn't have kids and do all that things. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot. You just have a rambly story because there's so much packed in here, right? Like when you feel like you're always having to hide like a core part of yourself, like this fear of like, oh, am I gonna get found out? And I'm also just like a super gregarious person. I've always been like really affectionate, like cuddly and hugs and flirty and jokey and like whatever. And I never wanted to make any of my female friends feel uncomfortable but I had like no idea how to navigate that. And so I just kept it to myself. And it wasn't until I was like in college that I actually got to like kiss girls or whatever. But I never really, even then, did too much with women because my dad, when I did finally come out to him, said that I would never get to and I didn't come out to him, I think, until like 8 years ago or something crazy like that. I came out to my mom, I think, like 10 years ago. Which is insane, right? Considering that I've liked girls since I was 13. And my mom thought that I was calling to tell her that I was dying of cancer because I was that upset, thinking that I might be ostracized, right? Like when you have this fear and you have people telling you that you're not a whole person, you have this innate fear that like if I tell people I'll be ostracized, like I will no longer get to be part of the group. Like it is such a huge deal still, I feel like, for me to just be sharing this. Like there's some family members that don't know that I'm bisexual and like that can create like whatever ripples. And I'm just part of this journey of me telling all these stories is really just me being like, I'm not going to be owned by my stories anymore, by my life history. Like people either like me or not. Like if the character that I portray is not in line with you and your values, like no hard feelings, but like we don't need to talk. Like it's not a big deal. Like there's billions of people on the planet. Like find your people and like surround yourself with good people who are in alignment with your values and like don't shit on the other people, right? As long as they're not harming themselves or the people, like just let people be people, you know? Like it's just I feel like we would have so much less strife and division if we could just like live true to ourselves and not try and push our values on other people. Like I'm here sharing my story. Like it's not pushing my value. It's yeah, so many interesting layers, especially with everything that's happening in our country right now. But yeah, like I couldn't bring myself to try and pursue women when I knew that bringing them into my family would be like they never got to come into my dad's house. They'd never get to come to family gatherings. Like I just it didn't feel right to me. Like I tried going on a couple dates, but then like I would tell them that and they understandably were like, yeah, no. And I was like, I get it. Like I wouldn't want to be put in that position either. And so now it's just like my dad's 83. He's an old man. You know, he's a really good person, you know, like by and large. He's just got his own stuff, you know? And my mom's always been supportive. She's amazing. Like I wish I would have told her a lot sooner than I did. Um, but yeah, it was just really hard. Thankfully, I don't have those suicidal ideations. Those went away a long time ago. There will be more stories that I share along. But like, yeah, finding the right therapist is amazing. I'm not a huge advocate for meds, but like when you've done everything that you can do, sometimes there legitimately is a chemical imbalance that we need to just like support our bodies and minds. And sometimes when we struggle, I'm not currently on them, haven't been on them for over a year now, I think, which is great. I just had a short stint where I really, honest to God, did need them. And I'm really grateful that I had them in that particular moment for depression and anxiety. Um, rambly live, stories of Alicia. The journey of trying to figure out who the fuck you are. It's a lot. My heart goes out to the people out there that are still struggling to like own who they are, who they're attracted to find the right people to navigate that conversation in your brains, especially if you've experienced sexual trauma. It is no joke. Um, please don't be ashamed of who you are and how you feel. There are really great human beings out there. If you're struggling to find somebody like I do know really great coaches, reach out. I can direct you, like find a good counselor, find a good support group, find a fun Facebook like, group or meetup group on meetup.com. Like there's so many places where you can try and find community, but always keep yourself safe because unfortunately in this world we live in today, you aren't always, and it sucks that in 2026 that we still have to worry about being safe just because our sexual orientation, our gender, or the color of our skin, or religion, or politics. Like it is tragic and mind blowing. But all we can do is continue showing up as we truly are with kindness to the best of our abilities, mindfulness, discernment, and healthy boundaries. Showing up confidently as your true self. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.